Like anytime I'm having a crisis of confidence, Cardi B needs to be bumped because she is like that confidence, that like rap confidence. Like I love it.
Oh yeah. So good that you know this now. I started recording, so it's a perfect way to start this episode. Because do you have like, I have a COVID-19 playlist, do you?
I don't have a COVID-19 playlist, but I have just like albums I bump for moods, you know?
Yeah, so I have a badass playlist. I have sober playlist. Um, all these different playlists that whatever mood I'm in, I'm gonna listen to. But my badass, I mean, it's like majority Cardi B. She sure is enlightening for all of us to be more of who we are at all times. So anyway, welcome to the show. I am the Dr. Whisperer. This is the beautiful Katelyn of the Electric Yoga. I'm saying it wrong.
Just forgot a word. It's the Body Electric Yoga and now also athletic companies. Yeah.
Okay, well, do you know when I was growing up in New York that there was a show called The Electric Company?
There used to be like a Body Electric, yeah, like kind of late 80s, early 90s aerobics. I am aware of this.
Yeah, well, The Electric Company is the show I think of every time I see your company name, so I'm really not surprised that's what I said, which is more fantastic content for the beginning of the show.
Yeah,
So I wanted to,
association.
yeah, The Electric Company. I mean, it's a feel good.
Yeah, I feel that.
So let me, I want to frame this up for everybody, how this happened, how this conversation is happening.
Yeah.
So I was this like, I always say like I'm out looking above at all the things that are happening. And I'm a huge fan of St. Pete. I live more towards the Clearwater area. And when I was looking at businesses of people that I wanted to connect with in the community, your company just kept coming to everywhere I was going. Like every person I was talking to was like, well, have you met Katelyn yet? I'm like, no, but I hope to. She sounds fantastic. And then one day I know I emailed you, and before you know it, it was me and you and Dr. Cesar Lara sitting in your beautiful space in St. Pete.
Yeah.
And we had a nice conversation.
Very nice.
So I loved so many things about your space, but I wanted to bring all of the healers that I thought we had a great conversation before this, and we had a great conversation that day. This conversation is for the community and anybody that might be watching. So the goal being to help as many people as possible that might be going through a hard time, to know that there are resources out in our own Tampa Bay community and beyond, because now we're all Zooming. So why don't you give everybody a little insight as to who you are and whatever the heck you want to say.
Well, I'll just kind of piggyback what you said, and I'll introduce myself. I'm Katelyn, and one of the founders of the Body Electric, and we want to hold space for you. So our real passion is holding space for people to move their bodies and hopefully make some stronger connections between their physical and mental selves. And as you said, some people are having a really hard time right now, but we are still holding space for you. So one of those resources is us. Let us be a resource to you. We have classes streaming free on Facebook. So if you're having a tough time and you're home and you're out of work, just come and let us hold you for a little while someday.
Oh, I love it. And I did look through to see some of the classes that you were providing. And I wanted to join every one of them because they all spoke to me. It was like meditation and mindset and yoga. So it was a little bit of everything. Can you talk about some of the beautiful, wonderful coaches that you have, which I do want to talk about next, who these people are?
Yeah, my goodness. We have the most incredible, beautiful team. Everyone on our team has been so solution-based and mindset and willing to be flexible and do all kinds of stuff to keep things moving and to keep us connected to the community and to, you know, shift into these new ways of holding space for people to breathe, sit, think, move. And so I just want to kind of shout them out. There's a lot of them, but they're just really incredible people and really real people who are, it's not a show for them. We do not have like ego-based space holders. These are people who really just want to channel for you and hold space for you. I'm so proud of them and of us. Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you, so when I came into the space, there was a gentleman there. Is his name Jamie? I'm so bad with names. He was this young man who was one of the trainers. He was there that day. And
Jeremy.
It was Jamie.
Jeremy.
See, Jeremy. See, I knew it started with a J. I was so like, I was walking away like, who is that person that is so nice? But you could feel how genuine he was. It wasn't like, oh, you know, these people are walking around with maybe my boss. It was just like, he was like, oh, hi, you know, it's nice to see you. It's nice to meet you. He was excited. You could see it in his face. His energy was like flowing through. And yeah, you could tell. Even when we walked in, the woman who was up front was super sweet. It really sets the tone for whoever is at the top, whoever is the owner, the leader. It's going to all trickle down, and it's going to show through all of these amazing healers that you have together. So can you tell me how all of them came to you?
Oh gosh, people come to us like all different ways, but basically people come in and they just either have been students or they're new to the area, and for whatever reason they just want to be a part of what we're doing. I guess they must like feel the vibes. They want to be part of it, and so we're getting better at being like, it's hard for us to say no, like, right? A lot of people want to come and hold space for us or with us, and we're pretty picky about it. But once you're part of what we're doing, like, we just don't stop. I think that's the real magic, is that we just never kind of sit down and say like, we've made it, or we know what we're doing, or whatever. Like, we know we don't, we know we haven't. And all of our everybody that holds space for us, from the desk to the teachers and management, like, nobody wants to ever stop like learning, growing, evolving, connecting. And so I think that is a little bit of what the magic is. Like, places, teachers, things start to lose their magic when they stop really living. Like, there needs to be movement and growth. That's like what really signifies life. And it's that life and that living that's exciting, that you can feel.
Yeah, I was mentioning before we got started today that I went on your website and I was, just looking for your bio. Mm-hmm. And, there was normally you go to a company website and it's like about us, right? And then you click on about us and then it'll show like CEO or founder. And I just went alphabetically until I got to K. I was like, oh, there's Katelyn. I just thought it was refreshing and nice, and it really spoke to who you were even before somebody enters your space. It's just like we're all here together channeling what we do best for our community. So bravo to you for that.
Yeah, it's worked for us. I think that you can have a lot of success like selling a brand based on a big personality. That's definitely one way to do it. I've seen a lot of companies do really well with that, but it's really worked for us to have an overarching ethos or like underlying philosophy that we all subscribe to together. And so like a loose framework, but then for everyone to be able to express their gifts uniquely and like to be appreciated equally for unique gifts, because everybody needs something different. Like, when we're talking about holding space, not everybody is like, everybody's not going to feel held and nurtured by what I'm able to provide, because we all have different experiences and little triggers and little things. So it's important to us to have a wide variety of people. So we hope that we have something or some way to hold everybody.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a big proponent of collaborative medicine, however that looks. And I'm not just talking about science-based medicine, I'm talking Eastern, Western. And I feel everybody is best served when there is a community that you can bring to somebody that isn't getting what they need. So I really appreciate that you said that and love that, because that is a core belief. It's funny, when we started talking, solution kept coming into your mouth and out through this Zoom. And my title is solution strategist. So
Oh,
yeah, right. So I've been a solution strategist for years. Even my husband, he's like, well, just go ask the solution strategist. I've never been one to sit in a problem. I'm always seeking that solution. It's just better for my own mental health, because I had suffered years ago from depression, that if I stay in that space, I could stay there a long time. So I love how you have all decided to focus towards the solution. And being here in this COVID-19 space, it's just, it's tough for some people. I have said, and I'll just say it again, I have no shame in saying that I've been blissful. I'm not ashamed of the fact that I feel really good knowing that Mother Earth is being replenished, and that people are spending time together, and that we're focusing on what really matters in life, and that people are playing outside with their kids. I appreciate that. Nobody in the world wants to see the death. So like, I don't even feel like I need a disclaimer anymore. If you know me, you know that obviously I wish only the best for people. So what has it been like for you, as a business owner, to focus on that solution, not just for you, but for your business?
it's been sometimes hard. Like it's not all like bliss and roses for me, certainly. Sometimes like the solution, the solution in some cases to save the business has meant some people losing their hours right now. And so that can be heavy. And those things also need to be sat with and like felt and seen and worked through. And it's just not getting stuck there.
Mhm.
So the reason I keep kind of saying like solution spaces, it's so easy every day. If, it would be easy for me to be spinning every day about all of the things that are uncertain. And there's fear.
Sure.
There's fear about the future because it's not going to look the same. And anytime there's change, there's discomfort. And so, it would be easy to be like just spinning, but at some point you have to accept that you've looked at and you understand the problem, and now you have to just like be doing everything you can in the moment. And if you still don't know, like for example, when are we going to open the brick and mortar back up,
Mhm.
then you just don't know. So you just
Right.
do what you can every day, and you try to be like prepared for all of the things. But it's good again for mental health to be making sure you're spending at least some time focusing on what's really beautiful and what's really good, like the people who are getting to connect with us online. And like you said, the earth is having a moment to breathe, and it's important to connect with those things too, because that's what it is. There's the light and the dark and the yin and the yang, and it's important to like feel and see both. But it's easy sometimes to get stuck in the dark stuff when there's a lot of tough, weird stuff going on, and we don't have any schedule or structure. It's like you can spin out.
Yeah. Well, it's funny you say that. So I started my morning. I get up 5 a.m. every day. I'm one of those people, and my routine has been disrupted. Everybody's routine has been disrupted, but I have a routine in COVID-19. I have a COVID-19 routine,
That's
and
great.
so I get up, 5, and I work out, and then I meditate. Well, I ended up. I was invited to ride my bike. I'm a big avid bike rider, and with a very good friend of mine from Tampa over the Courtney Campbell, where we could practice social distancing while exercising together. So I was like, well, yeah, but it would have to be really early in the morning. He's like, all right, I'll meet you at 7:30, at the Courtney Campbell. So that was how I started my day. But when I woke up and I did my meditation first. I'm doing guided meditations now because I don't feel like I want the quiet space, because the quiet space can be very busy right now.
Mm.
taking on a lot of others and what they're going through. But as I'm listening to my guided meditation, I'm crying my eyes out. And my dog is like laying on me and licking my face. And then I go and I have this blissful morning, just like what you said, where I was riding my bicycle. I was able to move a muscle and change a thought. And then the remainder of my day will be better because I'm feeling the emotions. You're talking about acknowledging them and feeling them, appreciating them, not knowing what's to come, and being okay with that, but acknowledging it nonetheless.
Yeah, I mean, it's a choice. You can be not okay with it, but it is what it is.
Yeah. So how
I'm
long have you been doing this?
okay with it. Which thing?
I don't know. I'm super curious. It's going to have to be like another show or maybe just a Zoom conversation offline. But,
Yeah.
I don't really, when I'm sitting in a meeting and I'm letting others do most of the talking, which I'm good at too, even though I'm from New York, people think that maybe I talk too much. I was really observing your wonderful ways of listening and taking it in. And I don't find that often, especially in business. Okay. So my book is not just about mental health, but it's in life and in business.
Mm.
Because mostly it's about, me, not me, but like you.
Yeah.
And it was just nice, and then your partner also came in and we had this wonderful conversation. And when I left and we connected again via email, and then this happened, I felt so good in knowing that we could connect again.
Yeah.
Because we have to keep this going no matter what. We all have to stay connected and we have to be supportive of the ones that we know are holding space for others. I love what you guys are doing. I love the philosophy behind it. And now I feel like I'm doing a commercial, but I don't, and I'm not getting paid for this.
Didn't pay her, guys. I don't know what's happening.
I think you could put $1 right through the computer right there. But it really is. It's not often, and I know that the newer space that you opened, it wasn't that long ago. So I'm quite sure that you guys have had your own roller coaster of emotions.
Yeah.
I'm leading you down the roller coaster for just a moment, if you
That's
will.
fine. Yeah. I'm here for it.
And what do you see? I mean, I know that we can't see what's going to happen in the future, but what do you see in terms of a shift maybe in how you go about doing business, if you have had any at all?
You mean like just what's it gonna look like when we reopen?
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't have to be specific. Like I'll share you with me. Okay. I work with doctors, so they weren't doing telehealth. And now they're like, well, we'll do a little bit, but we're not going to buy this. I'm like, no, 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 you don't understand. Nobody's going back to the way it was. And I
Yeah.
don't want everybody to go back to the way it was. I want everybody to think things through and do things differently.
Yeah.
So I think that you had asked for, correct me if I'm wrong, and I love this philosophy too, of, donations of what you can pay to come to classes. Am I right?
Yeah, so right now when we first shut down, we immediately just started putting as much stuff on Facebook for free as we could.
Mm-hmm.
That was what we knew how to do, first of all. Second of all, we wanted to make sure that people could get to stuff right away, especially the people who, some people are just paying us a monthly fee, and we wanted to make sure we were providing something because it was in the middle of the month,
Mm-hmm.
we just felt like this is our job. This is, we take our jobs seriously. And so we just right away got as much content online as we could. And then as time was going on and we realized this is going to be going on for who knows how long, we started to sort of split the content. We wanted to still make sure that we were providing something as a love offering because people are having a hard time. But lots of people, like many people that I know, not all, of course, unfortunately, but many people that I know, their income has not been affected. They're working, they can do their whole jobs from home, or maybe they can go to their office because their office is set up in such a way, or whatever it is. Some companies, as we know, Zoom is a great example. are hiring, like they're having record, and all these people can work from home. So that's really great. And so I don't want to pretend that we're not having financial problems either, right? We can be generous and at the same time say like, hey, if you do have funds though, and you're appreciating this offering that we're giving, you can offer this. And that exchange doesn't have to be money. Like many people who are canceling their memberships, it's so sweet. Our people are just so damn sweet. They're writing and they're like, I'm so sorry, we hate to do this, we want to support you. Like it's sad for them.
Mm-hmm.
And so like we want to still have classes for them. But if you have money to exchange it. If you don't, then you can just participate, leave a nice comment, connect with us, leave a review somewhere. There's lots of ways that you can connect and support us that aren't financial, and we want to leave those doors open right now because it's a hard time for a lot of people. And then we also like have bills and we're paying our payroll, and like that's all really scary. So at the same time, we're figuring out ways to monetize some of the online offerings. Some of our online offerings are now, you have to have a pricing option. So you're either a member or you're like buying a drop-in or using your 10 class pass. Like we still have plenty of stuff on Facebook. Plus all the live streams we've done to date since we closed for COVID are still available in our videos section. So there's right now like a pretty pimp library of material. It won't stay there forever, but like now's a really, again, important time to have some stuff out there for people. So we're just trying to find that balance now. And when we do reopen, we will keep a lot of the online content going because I think some people are going to still have fear for a long time, and especially compromised people, which we personally know quite a few people with immune compromises. They're not going to want to practice in a studio class. So we want to still be able to continue to hold space. And we've been connecting with members who've moved across the country who miss us, and friends and family who live far away. So that's all been really incredible. And we definitely plan to keep all of that going when we open. And like, I don't know if I fully answered your question, but also when we open, you know, yesterday we were working on like marking the floors. So all the mats are 6 feet apart when we do reopen. The class caps are, for us, class caps are going to be like a third of what they were before. And so we will need that online content also to help us bridge that revenue gap so that we can still continue to meet our monthly expenses, which are mostly payroll.
Well, I love that you've shared that. And I think that, you know, I did this video yesterday. I put it up on LinkedIn. It was I do these, if I get enough people pulling at me, asking me for stuff, which happens a lot, get people asking, nobody giving, but asking. So, which, you know, it's okay. I mean, I'm used to this, but I put up this video, like, you know, in life, you know, and in business, this is just not how it goes. You know, I like to think of business more like dating, you know, like, let's get to know each other. Let's go out a few times. And then, you know, let's see if it's going to work. Let's see if we like each other. And then, you know, I don't know, maybe then you ask for something. But I was thinking about the little things that we can do, right? Which are some of the things that you just spoke about that I think people take for granted that they could do right now. So sharing your content, huge, right? Putting a comment, like say somebody watched this video, let's call them out right now. This will be fun. And they're like, wow, that was like really good video. Like those girls are like, awesome. Well, instead of thinking in your head, why don't you write a comment?
Yeah.
Right? Because then that brings more attention to you and what you're doing. And that brings more, you know, opportunity for the people you're employing, for you, for your partner. You know, it's just doing good. Writing the reviews. Those are
share with everyone. We want to share with the people who can, you know, help us pay our bills, and with the people who can't, because those people need this too. And the more people we can reach, the more of everybody that we can kind of get on the bus. So yeah, sharing is great. Like if you can't afford to donate, we totally get it. Like we're like, there's not even a like microscopic touch of any resentment about that at all. Like bless, please come, please take the class, share it, leave a comment, give us love, make us like, give me a warm and fuzzy. Like that warm and fuzzies are also like very valuable currency right now. Share some warm and fuzzies.
Yes, because, you know, after I put that video up, this one woman, Liz, she immediately put a comment up, and then she sent me a private message and she said, what can I do for you?
Didn't that just make you feel like you had spent your time so well?
I was so happy. And like that little thing, I'll never forget her.
Yeah.
I think that's what people, sometimes we get so busy, especially in this business world, and especially right now, we're thinking of ourselves. We are, and as humans, we're selfish, self-seeking people sometimes, not everybody, but thinking about how we can help somebody in the smallest way. And yes, if you can, like, I didn't apply for any of the loans or anything just because I don't have the payroll. I don't have this huge, I'm still getting paid. I work in healthcare, doctors needed to pivot. And all I kept thinking was like, everybody else needs so much more than I do right now. So how can you give? And what you are giving is just wonderful. And people will remember that. Like I would keep trying to tell everybody, don't go away now. Stay here. Go through it with us. Say that you're having a hard time, because whoever is saying that they're not is,
I mean, maybe. But I think that brings up a really good point. Some people are going away, but maybe that's like what's right for them. I think a lot of people right now, because it is so hard, you realize like what you're really willing to fight for. And if you've kind of been doing this grind for the wrong reasons, you might be really looking at that right now and saying like, this is actually not something that I want to fight this hard for. That's not our story. We're very passionate about what we do, and like I would fight tooth and nail. I would sell my house like before I would give up the business. But and I think that that's like okay, and a good thing too, a good process that some people are going through.
I agree 100%. Brene Brown recently said, she didn't say it, she was interviewing somebody, and he said there should be no such thing as comparative suffering.
Yeah.
It's like, yes.
Yeah, I love that.
Like, let everybody just feel whatever it is they feel. There is no judgment. Like, just go through this, and we'll be here, right? We'll be here. So I would talk to you all day, but from what I've learned, people don't have much of an attention span anymore when they have 90 other things they can do.
Yeah.
But I want to thank you so much for joining us today and being a part of this wonderful community. And I will be sharing about you and your company, and I will be there when you open up and do a class, even if I do have to drive 35 minutes to get there. That's how cool I think y'all are.
Thank you. And it feels good to have been thought of for this series.
Yeah, thank you so much.
My pleasure.
So don't forget, if you mention that you have seen the show or listened to the podcast, Thai Technology, 3 months for free.